2 weeks left in the prep football regular season, and that push for the postseason begins tonight. Teams trying to position themselves for playoff seedings and district titles. The Catholic League title could be settled this evening in our game of the week between two marquee teams in Rummel and John Curtist. We head out to the Shrine on Airline and join Andrew Doak live in Metairie for much more on this matchup. Andrew?
Hey, Ricardo, that Catholic League title was in fact decided tonight. John Curtist taking home another one. But man, it was in question there down the stretch. Rummel was down by as many as 21 points in the second half. They came storming back, made this a game late, but both teams had 2 turnovers. The biggest difference, Curtist able to cash in 14 points out of it, while Rummel only able to get 7, and that proved to be what really turned the tide in Curtist's favor. With a win, Curtist could take home another Catholic League title. But don't doubt the Raider pride, man. Patriots up 7-0. Chandler Fields shows off the rifle. 44-yard shot to Evan Francione, and it's knotted up at 7. Curtist keeps doing what they do, though. First play of the second quarter, Washington punches it in from 2 yards out. They're back up 7. Raiders hold tight, though. Jeremy Walker takes a kickoff down to the Curtist 14-yard line. And from 4 yards out, Kirill Jackson makes it a new ball game at 14-all. Curtist can just attack you in so many ways, though. Guggenheim finds a wide-open Glenn Beal up the seam, and he puts it on the numbers. 44-yard dart, and Pat's back up 7. Rummel on the 25, and it starts to unravel. Cade Como says, "I'll take that." Patriots knocking on the door again. 3rd and 2 from the 4-yard line. Guggenheim cuts into the king cake. Curtist extends it to 14. Curtist halfway home to a title at the break, up 28-14. Second drive of the second half for Rummel, and Cade Beloso sniffs out the screen for Curtist. He comes down with the pick. Guggenheim would cash in on the next play. Turnover's a big storyline in this game. That made it 35-14 Pats, but Rummel not going away. Jamar Chase, a quick out for the touchdown, gets Rummel back within 2 scores. Then Cole Young gets lost in the mix, and the Raiders score again. They were within 1 touchdown, down 8 late in the third quarter. Late in the ball game, though, Rummel had a chance to tie this ball game just under a minute to play, 4th and 17. But it's an incomplete pass, and Curtist takes home the Catholic League title, 42-34. I'll tell you one thing, 2 teams tonight looked like they were heavyweights that were trading blows, both primed to be able to potentially make playoff runs. As for Curtist, they have Shaw next Friday, really just trying to set themselves up for the playoffs and clinch that #1 seed. Hopefully no repercussions in that game for them. But both teams, again, looked like really solid opponents, just those minute details as far as the turnovers that really killed Rummel in the end. Here in Metairie, Andrew Doak, Eyewitness Sports.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. A good game out there on the Shrine on Airline tonight. On the North Shore, St. Paul visiting Mandeville. Throughout the records when these two meet up. Second quarter, Wolves trailing 14-0, but in business after a skipper's fumble. Jonte McDowell bangs it in from a yard out. St. Paul closes the gap to 14-7. However, Mandeville able to shake off that turnover later. Teron James gets through a hole on the right side, and he turns on the Jets, a 20-yard score. His 3rd touchdown of the night at that point. Skippers extend the lead to 21-7. Just before the end of the half, Mandeville looking for more. Darren Steele throws a flanker screen out to Roland Wallace, and he takes it to the grip. 34-yard touchdown. Mandeville goes up 28-7. Skippers climb back to 500 with a 28-14 victory, and they stay in the playoff hunt in District 6-5A. The march for perfection continues for De La Salle. The #1 ranked team in Class 3A going for an 8-0 start. In the District 10 3A championship tonight, standing in the Cavaliers' way, a 7-1 St. Charles Catholic squad also undefeated in district play. The Comets' only loss on the year coming from 5A East Ascension, but this may be the biggest test for SCC tonight in the Cavs and in the rain. But De La Salle quarterback Julian Gums was up to the task. Second quarter, he calls his own number, up 14-0, and gets knocked down at the 2. Next play, Gums fights his way for 6. And puts the Cavs up 21-0. We move into the 3rd, and it worked before. Why not do it again? Gums on the keeper. And he's going to break off a 26-yard run down the sideline for the touchdown. De La Salle up 28-0, and that caps the scoring. De La Salle stays undefeated, and they move to 8-0 on the year.